Hi everyone, this is Sunette. In this video, I would like to discuss the topic of how to change the world. Now, I know I've done quite a few videos in relation to world change and um, how we can have an impact or effect on the world in its entirety and all of humanity and really make a significant difference. An interesting dimension that I'd like to share and open up in this video that I looked at when assisting and supporting yet another individual who asked this question is that it's it always comes with this experience of wanting to change the world or have an effect on the world and an impact and have something of a positive influence in some way or another, whenever we are also within ourselves chasing some or other change. So for me personally, whenever, and it's not a judgment that wanting to change the world comes up inside your mind, but I mean, we can also kind of ask, okay, but what world, is our mind really talking about here? Because I found it was more thoughts coming up, or an inner dialogue of, I want to change the world, like this whispering coming up in my head. And with it, this energy, this positive feeling and experience together. And I was like, okay, I hear this and I feel this really good positive feelings that's going with it. But behind that, me as a person, not in a good state, not in a good state of mind, not in a good state of the experience of how my relationship is even with myself, let alone people in my own world, let alone my own life, which for most of us is, if you really sit back and have a look at listing for yourself all the problems and issues in your life, in your world, that has been unresolved, the wanting to save or change the world way out there is a projection. And I know it kind of sounds monotonous that, to change the world, you've got to change yourself because it's been out there for how long in our human existence. But the thing is, have we really acted on it? Truly made that statement a part of ourselves and our everyday lives where you actually practically, day by day, meticulously, in detail, specifically, start your process of making an impact, having a positive effect and influence on your world, your life, your relationships in it. I mean, if we can't, even get into our own world or even start there, what's going to happen with anything of wanting to change the whole world? Instead, how many people, I think if we bring all of humanity together of who'd want to change the world and who would want world peace, I think it would probably be us all on some level or another. That thought with that experience did come up. But now imagine if we just invert that I want to change the world, and that feeling, that motivation that comes up, that for lack of a better word, you feel like a good person in that moment, but inverting all of that and rather you becoming a good person defined as, someone that you can be proud of, respect, honor, has integrity, trust, steadfastness, perseverance, motivation, the lust for life, and be that example of actually kind of waking up everyone around you and say the world we first have to change is in fact the one that's right in front of us, because that is the world. We are the world. We forget that. So change, for example, what I did that worked for me in my past whenever this statement came up, because I would literally pursue it as well. I would go out there and want to be part of so many things in changing the world. When it was interesting that when I started with myself, I actually started having more impact and more influence on, yes, first and foremost, people in my immediate environment, but then starting to expand as my life went. And that's not even necessarily to say that all our lives are going to go that way. It's going to be challenging and difficult, but everyone knows the wanting to change the world has been a theme in the minds of humanity for aeons of time, but we had no effect. So how about we have a look at grounding it and realizing that we are the world? That when the I want to change the world comes up in our mind, we're actually saying, I want to change myself, the world within, the world here. Because maybe then you will realize that it's not about how do you help the world or how do you save the world. You will come to realize, as I have, that it's actually a statement rather than a question as to how can I be the influence in this world that is needed to guide, to be an example, to show in who I am in thought, word, and deed, what our potential is for this generation and possibly generations to come. That the point or the dimension that we've been missing, it's never been about saving, helping. I mean, I've just have a look at, even just looking at myself, how many people in my life have I tried with that intention of helping, of saving, of thinking they need me, they have to have me in their life. Oh my God, something's going to happen to them and it's going to be my fault because I didn't save them, I didn't help them. To what that has never gotten me anywhere, nor with my relationship with that person. If anything, it got worse. Either they resisted me or just didn't want to be close to me, or they deliberately messed up themselves in their lives because I was being almost too suffocating with my you need saving. And when I just dropped it and realized, okay, it's the same with, for example, raising children. Children, you don't approach them with, oh my God, I have to save you, I have to help you. We approach children with, observe me, I'm your living example, you learn from me. Based on who I am in thought, word, and deed, how I live, how I do things, I'm here to teach you, to show you. It's in the story we live that we create. Everyone's familiar with the reference of, you write your book of life as you live in every single day. You can see, as for example, a page in the life of you. And based on what you live in that day, gets manifested into what one can say the written word, the physical word, this reality, an imprint, a legacy, a memory of what you leave behind as who you are. But I mean, if we're already looking way forward to wanting to save and help something within the starting point of good intentions, which everyone knows paves the road to hell more often than not, because good intentions don't allow you to see what's going on in reality. The world doesn't need saving, it needs understanding, it needs solutions, it needs guidance. And that's something, interestingly enough, that's been missing, even in our personal lives. When I started having a look at, but what does all those words mean to me? I had no clue. I had no idea. What does it mean to guide? To be responsible for? That's another theme. What does it mean to be responsible for the world? I mean, to what extent or degree would that go? We're not all alone, one person supposed to carry the responsibility of this world on our shoulders. We're supposed to stand equal and one, shoulder against shoulder, next to each other, walking together and walking with. But I mean, what people in your life can you even do that with, is what I'm saying. So we don't know how long it's going to take, but there's a part of us, maybe in us all, that knows this world is going to change somewhere or another. That, I'd like to be a part of it when it does. So the way that has had a true, real effect for me in my life, in my world, in who I am, through, yes, all the good times, the bad times, the ups and the downs, has been learning, showing by example, teaching, guiding, sometimes leading, depending on who I need to be, where I need to be, and what I'm going through. All right, so everyone, just another interesting dimension to consider that opened up in my discussion with another individual. And it's a very cool point that everyone can have a look at, seeing what's relevant for you and what you can take from it for yourself. And hey, maybe you've even learned about some qualities that, you haven't yet explored inside yourself that might even just be there. I mean, we've all got the inherent tendency to want to lead, to want to guide, to want to take responsibility for. I mean, why else would that idea be existing in us in the first place? We've got it in us. I think we must just redefine the words world and help or save to self, to how to change self, and instead of saving and helping, how to be a living, leading example. All right, everyone, thank you very much. This is the support and inspiration of the week. Thank you very much for listening.